Yesterday I talked about samadhi, concentration, and I promise that today I will talk about the hindrances. So today I am going to talk about the hindrances. Hindrances are those mental factors that prevents to access our meditation mental qualities or meditation mental factors. Hindrances may prevent even to initiate the meditation mental qualities. They are hindrances because they may prevent or they may obscure or prevent the visibility while we are observing the object, like fog or misty. Fog and mist can obscure the visibility. Similarly, hindrances may obscure the visibility when we observe the meditative object, especially when it is about to see the natures, the realities of the physicalities and the mentalities. Hindrances may obscure. And hindrances are also like speed breaker or speed bump that may drop your momentum of practice, that may break your momentum of mindfulness, momentum of concentration, sorry, momentum of wisdom. They are also like speed breaker. They may trap you so that you can't move forward. They may block you like barrier or fence. Do not let you to move forward. Similarly, these hindrances may obstruct you to move forward. They keep you trapped, stuck. So hence they are called hindrances. Simply they hinder in our practice, so called hindrances, and in Pali called as nivarana. Nivarana in Pali. They are 5 in kinds. The first one is kama chanda, sensuous desire. Sensuous desire is the first hindrance. Desire to the desirable objects. When we talk about the desirable objects, they are called desirable because everyone likes it, desirable objects. Not only he, not only she, they also like. He also likes, she also likes, everyone likes desirable objects. We keep delicious food So ants come or insects come to eat because they also like those delicious food. While eating, flies come, they also like. That's why desirable objects are those are the objects that everyone like that. So the desire to those desirable objects is called as sensuous desire. Sensuous desire, but here the desire is not the ordinary desire associated with the attachment. Associated with attachment. Called sensuous desire, kama chanda. And the simile is given. Let's say there is a bowl of water, but the water is mixed with colors or dye. If water is mixed with color, then you can't see your face into that water. So the simile for kama chanda is colors. And the second hindrance is vyapada, ill will or aversion. Aversion, the hatred related thoughts, the hatred related mind and the mentalities often arise during the practice when unpleasant objects, unpleasant phenomena are there. So all kind of hatred or the thoughts or the mentalities associated with anger. It could be due to the pain. Due to pain also aversion arise, frustration arise, irritation arise. That is also hindrance. It could be because of the height of the cushion. Aversion may arise. It could be due to the noise. It could be due to the food. It could be due to the weather, hot weather or the cold weather. It could be due to the wind. So all the unpleasant objects may cause to arise the vyapada during the practice, even minor small phenomena or unpleasant phenomena or the objects may cause to hinder your practice due to the ill will or the aversion. So that is vyapada. And it is compared with the water which is boiling. Let's say now colors are not there in the water, but water is boiling or steam is there, is hot, heated up. So if steam is there, is water is boiling, then again you can't see your face into the water. Then third one is hina midda, sloth and torpor. Sloth and torpor means The mind and the mentality which does not want to drive the energy, sluggishness, being reluctant, lethargy, lack of enthusiasm, simply the mentality which, the mind or mentality which do not want to drive the energy. So that is thina midda. Generally, when we have sleepiness, drowsiness, in fact, that is the manifestation. That is not the sloth and torpor. That is the manifestation of the sloth and torpor. So the sleepiness, the initial point of the sleepiness is the mentality, the sluggish mentality, which does not want to drive the energy, does not want to apply the energy. So that is sloth and torpor. And again, let's say there is water is not boiling, but water is blown by wind. So waves are there. Waves are there. Oh, sorry. For sloth and torpor, let's say water is not boiling, but moss or aquatic plants are there, covered by the moss or aquatic plants. Still can't see our face into the water. The fourth one is Udacha Kukucha in Pali. Udacha means restlessness, and Kukucha means remorse or guilty feeling. I don't need to say much about the restlessness. It is quite obvious. So remorse or guilty feeling. Guilty feeling arises due to the past action and due to good action, also due to bad action. Good action in the sense of that we failed to do. We had opportunity in the past to do the good actions, but we failed to do that good action. So when mind recollects that condition cause guilty feeling. And the second one is obvious, due to the bad action or the unwholesome actions that we have done in the past. So the action, due to the action that we failed to do, and due to the action that we done in the past. So that those actions cause the remorse or guilty feeling when mind recollects. And that also often arises during the meditation. And now, let's say there is no color, water is no boiling, moss is not there, but water is wavering due to the wind. Waves are there, water is blown by wind. So waves are there. It's trembling. So we still can't see our face. And the last one is Vichikicha. Fifth one is Vichikicha, doubt. So doubt arises. Doubt may arise to triple gems. Doubt may arise to practice itself, doubt may arise to the morality or the sila, especially for the monks. When we practice, if you are not making improvement, mostly doubt tends to arise. When you have expectation as well. When you have loss of expectation and things are not going as expected, then doubt tends to arise. Like doubt of the method, doubt of your practice, whether you are doing right or wrong, whether the method that you are applying is right or wrong, whether the technique, whether the instruction given. So when you have doubt with the instruction, then doubt with teacher, then with the whole practice, then with the whole and the teachings of the Dhamma, then to the Tao, to even Buddha. So doubt may arise. When we have loss of expectation and when you are not making the progress, when you fail, at times you just feel that you are not making progress because you don't know, you don't have much idea about the practice. So at that time also doubt arises. Whether there is something wrong in practice, whether the technique you are applying is wrong, whether the method is wrong, whether you are lacking something, a doubt tends to arise. And for monks in those situations, doubt arises on sila, on morality, one's morality. Because for monks, if sila is broken, if morality is broken, that also halt in the practice. No matter how much you try, you can't improve because your sila, morality is not pure. And when you don't make progress, now you start to doubt in your morality, in your own morality. So in this way, doubt arises during the practice as well. So these are the 5 hindrances. I believe yogis are quite familiar with these 5 hindrances. Sensuous thoughts, sensuous desire is definitely there, often arise. It bursts. It just bursts in your mind. At times, subtle sense desire, sometimes quite gross sense desire. It bursts. They burst. Want to see good, want to hear good, want to smell good, want to taste good, want to touch good. And sexual desire also includes in this sense desire. So in many ways, in many forms, at times could be as thinking, as planning, as daydreaming, fantasy, so on. Sense desire arise. And if we talk about the minor sense desire, as expectation also sense desire may arise. Desiring the pleasing objects, desiring the pleasing objects to arise. This is also the sense desire. So in many ways, the sense desire boss in our mind to hinder our practice. So you have to know, you have to be very careful about the desirable objects, desirable objects, and the desire, the attachment to have those desirable, pleasing objects. Even when you have good, like you have joy, you have mental comfort, you may delight on those good condition, on joy, on mental bliss. So you forget to note, you miss to note, you keep delighting. So delighting on those good condition, then expecting for next time. So these are also the minor sense desire. They halt, they halt in your practice. So sense desire. Then uh, ill will. Aversion is also quite obvious, as I have just mentioned. It could be due to even the height of the cushion, because you have lots of pain, unpleasant sensation. You feel cushion is not okay when pain arises. When you are sitting, if noise is there, noise may cause the aversion. When unpleasant sensation is there, you expect the unpleasant sensation to dissolve, disappear, but it is not disappearing, dissolving, then aversion may arise. You think you are noting, you are observing meticulously, you are using all kind of techniques to observe that unpleasant sensation, but you don't see any change, and things is not going as expected, then aversion may arise. And then at times, because of the weather, because of the sunny weather, also because of the windy weather, so there is mind just need a trigger to arise this ill will, the aversion. Just need a condition. Small condition may cause to arise the ill will. And of course, to arise the ill will or the aversion on pleasing sensation, unpleasant object, sorry, unpleasant object. To appear, to occur the sense desire, pleasing object. To appear or occur the ill will or the aversion on pleasing object. Then third one is Thina Midda. You are quite familiar with Thina Midda. Mind often wants to give up. Mind often does not want to apply energy. Mind become sluggish, reluctant, lack of enthusiasm, lethargy feeling is there. So these are the Thinamida, and definitely when these Thinamida, sloth and torpor, become stronger, then you may fall asleep, you might be nodding. So this is sloth and torpor. Then fourth one is restlessness and the remorse, guilty feeling. And guilty feeling may repeatedly arise due to the certain action, due to the certain incident. That incident may appear again and again. You note you dispel once, but it arises again and again hinders you. Then you note, you dispel, then again may arise. So keep arising again and again, again and again, to hinder your mind, to pollute your mind. So quite destructive. It is also the very destructive during the practice. Then vicikicca, skeptical doubt or doubt on triple zim, doubt on practice, doubt on sila. So these are the 5 hindrances. So in example, I said if there is color in the water, you can't see your face. Color is compared with kama chanda, sense desire, because kama chanda, sense desire has the nature of sticking, gluing, staining. So color stains, smars, it sticks with the object, so it is compared with the sense desire. And then second is the steam or the boiling water. When you have aversion, ill will, your mind is heated, your mentally, your mind is upset, boiling. So it is again the good example. When thina midda is there, you feel you are covered by something. Your mind become cloudy. So again, the third one is moss or aquatic plants for thina midda. Fourth, the wavering water due to the wind. Yes, when restlessness is there, mind is wavering, mind is wandering here and there, is not still, not calm, like wind has blown away. So again, this is the good example. And for the last one, for vicikicca, it is mentioned like it has water is muddy and kept in darkness. Kept in darkness, so at that time also you can't see your face. So 5 hindrances, 5 examples for 5 hindrances. If any of them is present, then you can't see your face. Similarly, any of these hindrances is present, you can't move forward. You can't move forward. So just imagine if all of them are present. If all of them are present in water, then it is impossible to see your face. Similarly, if all of these hindrances are present, then just imagine the situation. Just imagine the situation. So, as I have mentioned already, these hindrances may prevent to access the meditation mental qualities. It prevent to initiate mental qualities, mental meditation, mental qualities. Yesterday also I mentioned these hindrances may prevent to not to access even mindfulness. May prevent not to access the concentration and wisdom. So preventing from accessing, initiating the mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom or good mental qualities. Then they these hindrances may weaken the mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, which have already developed. Due to these hindrances, your mindfulness, your concentration, your wisdom may become weaker. So they weakens. While observing the meditative object, when your vision is clear because of concentration, because of the wisdom, while vision is clear, but when hindrances arise, vision become blur, vision become cloudy, muddy. So it obscures your visibility when hindrances arise. While you are observing continuously, momentum is there, mindfulness, momentum of mindfulness, momentum of concentration, momentum of wisdom, even momentum of energy is there. But as hindrances arise, the momentum breaks. That's why I just mentioned like a speed breaker, speed bump. It breaks the momentum, they breaks the momentum of mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. And then I said they trap you. They may keep you trapped and stuck. When you stumble with these hindrances, when like doubt keeps coming again and again, you can't move forward. You can't move forward. You remain stuck in that situation. Or even you may decline from that situation. So in this way, when you have hindrances, you remain trapped, stuck, you can't move forward, and that may cause even the more doubt to arise. And when more doubts arise, then even you remain more trapped. So these hindrances keep you trapped as well. So that's why they halt in progress and call as hindrances. So they keep bombarding you, they keep busting in your mind when you miss to observe the presently arising object. So how to fight? How to fight with these five hindrances? The best way is the prevention. The best way to fight with these hindrances is prevention. You have to prevent not to arise these hindrances, and prevention by observing the presently arising object. That is the best way. Why I'm saying the best way? Because when you observe presently arising object continuously, the mental factors which are directly opposite to those hindrances, which can beat those hindrances, keep arising. For example, when we observe the presently arising object, we apply the accurate aiming, vitaka. We keep applying, we keep aiming the aiming factor accurately. That is vitaka. And this vitaka is directly opposite to the tina midda, sloth and torpor. So When accurate aiming is present, then Thinamidda has no chance to arise. You have to keep aiming accurately over and over, again and again. If accurate aiming is there, you prevent not to arise the Thinamidda, sloth, and turple. So that is how you can prevent the one of the 5 hindrances. Then again, as you keep aiming to the presently arising object, there will be the second mental quality, that is repeated application. We call it in Pali vichara. Repeated application which impinges with the meditative object, which connects with the meditative object, that is vichara, and vichara is directly opposite to the vicikiccha, fifth one, with doubt. So when you keep applying repeatedly, when repeated application is there, mind is well connected to the meditative object. And meanwhile, when mind keeps knowing about the object, then doubt has no chance to arise. Doubt has no chance to arise. So the antidote for the vicikiccha, doubt, is vichara, and as you keep applying accurate aiming, automatically the second mental factor develops, vichara develops, and it is the antidote for the vicikiccha, skeptical doubt. And by application of the energy, by application of the accurate aiming, when you keep observing again and again, then momentum is there, mindfulness develops. When mindfulness develops, mind is free from defilements. When mind is free from defilements, the seclusion is there, and when seclusion is there, then I said rapture. The rapture, from subtle to gross rapture, develops. And that rapture is directly opposite, or it is the antidote of vyapada, ill will. When you have rapture, then ill will has no chance to arise. Piti, rapture, is the antidote for ill will. And together with rapture, mental comfort, mental bliss arise, that is sukha in Pali. And mental bliss, mental comfort is the antidote of uddhacca and kukuccha, of restlessness and remorse. When you have mental comfort, mental bliss, mental happiness, then at that time uddhacca, restlessness, and remorse have no chance to arise. And that permits, that mental comfort permits samadhi to develop. I have already talked in detail. So when sukha is there, then samadhi develops, and samadhi is antidote of the kama, chanda, sensuous desire. So in this way, there are 5 hindrances and 5 antidotes for those hindrances. I repeat, vitakka, accurate aiming, is the antidote of sloth and turple. Second, vichara, repeated application, which is directly connected to the meditative object which impinges with the meditative object is antidote of vichikicha, doubt. The third one, piti, rapture, is the antidote of ill will. Then sukha, mental comfort or the bliss, is antidote of restlessness and remorse. And samadhi, concentration, is antidote of kama chanda, sensuous desire. So that is why the best way is to observe the presently arising object continuously. If you keep applying continuously with unbroken mindfulness, these antidotes of the five hindrances keep developing, and when they are present, the opposite defilements have no chance to arise. So the best way is to prevent. By any chance, if hindrances arise, then you have to note. The second best way is noting immediately. If sense desire is there, you have to note immediately. If ill will is there, you have to note immediately. If sloth and torpor, then sloth and torpor. If restlessness, remorse, you have to note immediately. If doubt is there, you have to note immediately and have to dispel. By noting, you have to dispel immediately. They are also the object to be observed. Sensuous desire is also the object to be observed. Ill will is also the object to be observed. Sloth and torpor, remorse, doubt, these are mental factors. Mental factors, so they are also the object to be observed. So you have to note, and by noting, you have to dispel, you have to destroy, you have to eliminate them. So these are these two: prevention, then immediate cure is the best way to deal with these hindrances. And by applying this technique, by applying this method, when your mind remains free from these hindrances, then the vision becomes very clear. So in the water, no color, no dyeing, no dyes, then no, water is not heated up, water is not boiling, no steam, no moss, no aquatic plants, no waves, then water is not muddy, not kept in darkness, then water is very clean. So when water is clean, then you may see your face into the water. So seeing means knowing here. When mind is clean, when mind is pure, so the visibility become clear. When hindrances are present, the visibility is not good. It's cloudy, it's muddy, darkness is there. But when they are not present, now vision become clear. Vision become clear means now you can see what really exists. The existence of physicality and the mentality first. You see physical objects as physical objects, mental objects as mental objects. You will see discriminately Physical objects is apart from the mental objects. Mental objects are apart from the physical objects. So discriminately, you would see these physical and the mental objects. Yesterday also I have mentioned few, even the minor, subtle, the minute objects become obvious. Your mind become like magnifying glass. Your mind become magnifying glass. You can see even very minor subtle objects. Those things that we can't see by our bare eyes, we use magnifying glass. We use microscopes to see in detail even those things that we can't see by our eyes. So magnifying glasses. As the mindfulness concentration deepens, mind become magnifying. Mind can see even the subtle things, profound things, mysterious things. And seeing here again is knowing. You come to see the things which exist, which exist. You come to see the things as they are. Nothing is special, but as they are. And that is what the development of the knowledge. And of course, with the development of the concentration, when concentration gets momentum, then the knowledge develops. This is how, when concentration is not hindered by the hindrances, then it permits to develop the wisdom knowledge. Vision, good vision develops, development of the knowledge. So this is how the inside knowledge develops when concentration is there. So you may wonder what we see, what do you see, what do you see, what do you realize when knowledge arises. I just mentioned the things that really exist as they exist. So physicalities, mentalities are there, you will see them. Then the first thing to see or to realize is individual natures of physicalities and the mentalities. There are three natures. First is individual nature, then the second is conditional nature, then the third is common nature or the characteristics. To see common characteristics, first you must see the conditional characteristics. And to see conditional characteristics, you must see the individual characteristics. Individual characteristics of physicalities and the mentalities. Physical objects have their own individual, personal characteristics. Mind and the mentalities have their individual personal characteristics. There are 25 physicalities, but mainly 4 elements. Mainly 4 elements, and these 4 elements have their individual characteristics. 4 elements are: first, earth element. We call in Pali Pathavi Dhatu. Earth element is there. Second is air element, Vayu Dhatu. Third is Tejo Dhatu, element of temperature. And fourth is Apo Dhatu, element of water, water element. They have their individual natures, personal nature, like earth element. Earth element has the characteristics of hardness, softness, roughness. These are individual, personal. Personal means does not belongs to other elements. Means temperature of element of temperature does not have these qualities. Air element does not have these qualities of hardness, softness. Then water element does not have these qualities. Is individually only related or belongs to the earth element. I repeat, hardness, softness, roughness. And air element has the nature of tension, tightness, stiffness, movements, main natures. And again, they are the individual personal nature of air element. Do not belongs to other elements. Element of temperature has the nature of heat, warmness, or coolness. Then water element has the nature of cohesion or flowing. So in this way, all these four elements have their individual natures. So these are called the individual natures. And mind and the mentalities have their individual natures. Once I have mentioned, mind is there, that is one factor. Then the mentalities, mental factors arise together with the mind. Mind never arises by itself, always accompanied by the mental factors. Relevant mental factors arise together with mind. There are 52 mental factors. They don't, 52 mental factors, they don't arise all at once. As I mentioned, with relevant mind, relevant mental factors. So mind has the nature of being aware of object, the bare awareness, okay? It is not mindfulness, the bare awareness, just taking the object, just receiving the object. The bare awareness is the nature of the mind. That is the individual nature. And mental factors, like 52. Some of the individual nature of the mental factors I have already mentioned, like a greed, lobha has the individual nature of like a gluing, sticking, attaching to the object. Anger does not have that nature. Anger doesn't have. Anger has different personal nature characteristics. So this gluing, attaching, sticking to the pleasant object is only the nature of the greed. That's why called as individual or the personal characteristic. And anger has the nature of ferocity. I have already mentioned. Ferocity is individual nature. It's individual nature. Moha, illusion, has the nature of not knowing. Again, the individual nature of the illusion. The mana, the conceit, has the nature of oathness. Again, the individual nature. Uddhacca has the nature of restlessness. Again, the individual. So all the mental factors, 52 mental factors, have their individual natures. So yogis come to discern, discover these individual natures when concentration develops and when knowledge starts to develop. They come to see the individual natures. That is why at interview I often ask, what did you see? What did you realize? What did you discover in rising and falling, movements of the leg? And of course, some yogis, they have already, they mention there is tension, there is tightness, there is hardness, softness, and so on. So when you see these tension, tightness, hardness, softness, means you are seeing, you are knowing the individual natures of the physicalities. And you must see, you must see, you must realize, you must discover. Because without seeing the individual nature characteristic, you can't see the second one, the conditional characteristics. That is why at interview we keep emphasizing to be aware of, to be very aware of those sensations. Whether it is observing rising, falling, whether it is movements of the leg or whether it is daily activities, not just in sitting. Because rising and falling is also the bodily object, physical object. If it is physical, then individual natures of physicalities are there. Movements of the leg is physical object, then individual natures are there. In daily activities, you observe the bodily actions, bodily performances. So in bodily performances, there are the individual natures to discern, discover. When you observe body or bodily activities, then to see the individual natures, mainly the natures of the four elements. Then later you come to see the individual natures of the mind, mentalities as well. You realize mind is sticking, attaching to the object. That is, you are knowing the individual nature of the greed. In this way, you are feeling, feelings is there. That is, feeling is the individual nature of the Vedana. Vedana, when you see ferocity, you are knowing the individual nature of anger. So automatically you come to see or you discover the individual natures. You don't need to thinking about which one is the individual nature of which physicality, what physicality or what mentality. You don't need to discriminate like that. You don't need to even think whether this is the earth element or the water element or the element of temperature or earth element. You don't need to discriminate like that. While observing the bare awareness, if it is tension, then tension. If it is hardness, then hardness. Heaviness, heaviness. Lightness, lightness. That's all. You don't need to use the technical terms or the theory while practicing meditation. So this is the first nature to discover while practicing meditation. So yet to talk about the second and third, and then after what, so we will talk more about the knowledge, the jnana, and what that knowledge discovers when you are practicing meditation. So time is up. As I mentioned today, you have to be very careful about the 5 hindrances because they boss up, they keep bombarding you, they keep disturbing you again and again to halt, to hinder in your practice, and you must be very aware to prevent those hindrances. If you prevent the hindrances, then your momentum of practice, you can give momentum, a good momentum in your practice. Then when you have a good momentum in practice, your mindfulness gets stronger, concentration gets stronger. And definitely when concentration gets stronger, then wisdom develops. So may you be able to prevent the hindrances by observing every presently arising, and by any chance, if hindrances arise, may you be able to note them immediately and be able to eliminate. And by elimination of those hindrances, may you be able to develop strong mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom.